This will work on any Debian-based distro. First, update your system. You'll need elevated privileges. When that's done, type sudo apt install Apache 2. When that's done, let's check that Apache is up and running. Let's type systemctl status apache2.service. Since we're doing this in terminal, we'll need a way to view the website within terminal. I use a program called Linux for that. Now I'll type Linux localhost to view the default Apache website. Change into this directory where the default index.html file is running. Back up that file and let's create a new one. Edit the file and type in, "This is our new website." Save and quit. There's our new file. Now we need to restart Apache to read that new file. Now when we type Linux localhost again, there's our new website. How you download an app on Ubuntu but not install it. Just type app, download, and the name of the app you want. In this example, I'll use nmap. It downloads the file, and there it is. It's a .deb file. From there you can install it or copy it to another computer. Here's how you automate routine tasks in Linux. I'm logged in as user Andrew and I want to run this sales update script every Friday at 10:30 a.m. To do this, you'll need to set up a cron job, so we'll type cron-tab-e to configure it. Go down to the bottom of the file and add this: 30 for the minute, 10 for the hour, star for the day of the month, star for the month, and 5 for the day of the week, which is equal to Friday. Then type the full path to the script. Save and exit. This verifies your new cron job has been installed. How you find the difference between two files in Linux. Let's look at file 1. And now let's look at file 2. They look the same, but there was a difference. Type diff file 1 then file 2. Diff will give us the difference between the two files. File 2 has an extra S in details, and it's on line 13. Let's edit file 2 and remove that extra S. Save and quit, and rerun that diff command. Nothing returned. That means the files are equal. Install a package with the dpkg package management system that Debian-based systems use, like Ubuntu and Kali Linux. I have a package here that I've already downloaded, but it's not installed. nmap. To install it, I'll type sudo dpkg-i and the name of the package. Now you can check to see if the package is installed by just typing out the package. You can see here that didn't work. I have a bunch of dependency problems that's stated right in this area. To fix this, we need to install all the dependencies. I'll type sudo apt get install -f. Now let's see if nmap works. It works. Here's how you find the size of a file or directory in Linux. Here's two directories, directory 5 and projects. So if we want to know the size of projects, we're going to type du, then projects. This is going to list out every file within inside of it. But it's not going to give you a human readable. It's just going to give you how much bytes it is. So if we type du-sch projects, this will give you a human readable total of the projects directory, which is 198 megabytes. How to find all of a user's files. Let's find all of Andrew's files. First, let's make a directory called Andrew's stuff. Then run this command, find in the entire system -user Andrew -exec copy and we're going to copy them into that new directory. Ignore all those errors, and now list out the contents of Andrew's stuff. There's all his files and directories. Let's find the bin directory. Type find in the entire system -type D for directory -name bin. This will search through the entire system for every directory named bin. As you could see, it found several subdirectories named bin. Let's filter that same command so it only searches within 2 subdirectories. To do that, use the max depth switch. Now it returned only the bins within 2 subdirectories. Find all the files in root that are more than 3 days old, but less than 100 days old. Notice we have all these files that begin with a dot. Let's exclude them from our search. Add type F, not name, .star. Now they're gone. Find any files on the system that are larger than 100 megabytes. It found 2. The first file is 251 megabytes, and the second file is 2.1 gigabytes. Let me show you how to find a file by file extension in Linux. Let's find all the .csv files. Okay, it found quite a few. Now let's find all the .pdf files. Looks like it only found 1. What this command is doing is it's searching the entire file system by name for any file that ends with .pdf. Give it a try. Here's a good example of when and how to use the pipe command in Linux. I'm looking for a particular app, so I'll type app-installed list. The problem with this is it will give me all the apps installed and it only shows me the bottom half of the list. One solution would be to send this to the less command so that you can scroll up and down the list, type the same command, but this time add a pipe character followed by the less command. Now you'll be able to scroll up and down the list with your arrow keys. An even better solution is to use this with the grep command so that you can filter out the exact app you are looking for. In this case, it's htop. Now it returns only the htop app, but the easiest way to see if an app is installed is just to run it. If it opens, it's installed. Let's search for the word kernel in this file. Type hostnamectl pipe character grep kernel. It didn't find anything. Why? Because grep searches for exactly what you tell it. I can see the word kernel right here, but it has a capital K. So all we gotta do is tell grep to ignore whether it's upper or lower case. Run the same command but add the -I option. Now it found it. Lastly, if you wanted to know what line it's on, just add the -N option. Now we know it's on line 8. These commands will also work on a Mac. Give it a try and follow me for more tips. Let's recursively search through the etc folder for the word follow. Type grep-r follow *. It found several entries of the word follow, but it also found follow_ftp, following, follows, followed. What if we just want the word follow? To do that, we'll need to add the -w option to search the whole word within the quotes. Now it found only the strings that say follow. Here's how you edit grub in Debian and Ubuntu. Open the etc default grub file. This is the main grub file you want to edit. There are other files in the system, but you want to edit this one. The parameter I want to adjust is the timeout, which is how many seconds the grub screen is displayed at boot time. I'm changing mine from 8 to 3. Save and quit. Anytime you update that grub file, then you have to run update-grub for your changes to take effect. This is how you query log events using journalctl in Linux. This will show you everything going on with systemd. Type journalctl-b This will tell you all the events since last boot. Use the J and K keys to navigate up and down. A lot of good info in here, sorted by date and time. Use Q to exit. To only search for errors, type journalctl-p-err. Scroll all the way down to the bottom to show you the most recent error. You can see user Alan tried to use the sudo command. He was denied and it got reported here. Then if you want to follow the system log in real time, type journalctl-f. This is nice when you're troubleshooting and want to see the problem in real time. Just open up a new window and run your command, and then watch this log window to see what's going on. Here's how you create soft links in Linux. I want to make a link to this file called softexample.txt. Here's the contents of that file. To create the link, type ln-s for soft, the full path to the file, and then the name and location of where you want the link. I put the link in my home directory, so let's list that out. There's the new link, and notice the arrow pointing to the source file. And when we cat out the contents of that link, it's the same as the source file. Here's how you install nginx on a Debian-based Linux system. I'm currently using Ubuntu 2004 for this. So first thing we're going to want to do is update the software repositories. So you'll type sudo apt update. Now we can install nginx. Type sudo apt install nginx. Hit Y. That's done. Now let's check the status and see if it's running. So we're going to type systemctl status nginx. System is running right here. Now to check that it's working in a browser, type in the IP address of the server, and it is working. World Linux examples. Redirection. By default, when you run a command, it will output to the screen. If I want to send that hostnamectl output to a file, I'll use the right arrow. In this case, we'll send it to a file called the name of my computer. Notice it didn't output to the screen this time. When we cat out the file the name of my computer, it is now the output of hostnamectl. Now let's append the phrase, let's add another line, to the end of the name of my computer file. Adding 2 arrows of redirection will append, not overwrite. Now when we cat out the file, you'll see our new line at the very end of the existing output. Follow for more tips. Real-world Linux examples. rsync. I want to copy all these files within directory 5 to a remote computer. To do this, you want to type rsync-av capital P directory 5, the user mic you want to connect to, and the IP address of the remote server, and into Mike's home directory. I'll put in user Mike's password. All the files were copied over and it shows speed and statistics. Now let's verify by SSH into that remote computer into Mike's account. Going to list out all his files. There's directory 5, going to change into directory 5. And there's all the files we copied over. And now you can see they're now owned by Mike. Modify kernel runtime parameters. In this example, we'll enable IPv4 forwarding. First, let's list out the parameters. A lot of parameters to adjust. Let's search for forward. This is the one we want to adjust. We need to change that value to 1. Let's enter the sysctl config file and add that value to the bottom. And we'll change that to 1. Now let's load those settings with this command. and finally start the service. And now let's check for that setting. There it is. Now IPv4 forwarding is enabled. That's how you compress files in Linux using the tar command. Let's compress this directory called Andrew's stuff. It's filled with files and subdirectories. Type tar, C for create, Z for zip, verbose, F for file. Specify a location and give it a name with a .tar.gz extension. Then put in the path of the directory that we're compressing. It will then compress all the files within it. There's our newly created tar file. You can use this command to view the files without uncompressing it. But now let's actually uncompress those files. First, make a directory anywhere you want where we can extract to. And now run this extract command. Tar, X for extract, verbose, file, the tar.gz file, -C to specify a location where we want to extract it to. In this case, it's that extracts directory we just made. It does the extract. Now let's go into that extracts directory and see what we got. There's all the original files and subdirectories.